Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. It is our anniversary today. It's like a 3-day anniversary. So when they launched the original contracts 5 years ago, the days of yesterday, today, and actually today was the day that they actually put in the liquidity. So it was a 3-day launch. And Big Bear was there.
I was there.
You were there for you were there for the rug.
Yes.
That was like 10 days ago. So on November 2nd of 2020, the original liquidity got rugged. And 10 days later they relaunched the Axion token. But what was that like?
It was like a tornado of emotions, because going from the original exploit and everybody thinking like, oh my God, it's over. But it was amazing to see the community step in and rally behind the call of the team that was in charge of the protocol back then. The community just rallied, man. And I think we raised like $500,000 in liquidity in a week and relaunched the project. And it was just like, it was insane. You know, there was a lot of drive and purpose behind what we were doing. And we weren't going to let a little bit of a mishap or an exploit that had nothing to do with the protocol itself. It was an outside entity. And, you know, we got it done, and we relaunched and went on to see bigger and brighter and better days. And yeah, it was a fantastic journey. It was well worth it. It was like being in one of them really emotionally driven soap operas.
Yeah. Well, you know, and then that's a lot of people know this by now. But if you are new to this project, the Axion ecosystem launched 5 years ago this week, and they fell victim to a bad actor who slipped in an exploit at the last second when they were launching the token, launching the contracts, and rugged the liquidity. So when they spun things back up and redid everything, they did the launch a little differently. We're looking to do something similar with our launch to make sure that everything is kind of locked down and in place so that we don't fall victim to that when we relaunch on base. You know, you hear this all the time. You know, projects are falling victim to bad actors all the time. So this is something we've been very mindful of throughout this process, and we intend to make sure that, you know, things run as smoothly as possible. You know, it's hard to in this environment, it's hard to have absolutes, but we definitely can do a little extra due diligence, which is what we've been doing. And that's why we've actually postponed our relaunch a couple of times. We need to make sure that the code is good, that it conforms to what's expected as we file with the state of Utah to establish our DAO. And but we have a guest with us. We have Hermie with Metarides. I'm going to we've been playing out every single live stream with that soundtrack he created for us. Everybody loves it. Still haven't got a video to it, but that's okay. We've actually come up with this really cool system where we play it out. We've got the lyrics up on the screen, and we toss up people's comments down below. So, and it just kind of has a really, really good vibe. And I do want to, right before I say hi, Hermie, I want to let everybody know. So we do have 3 codes that we're going to hand out during this live stream. I'm not going to say when. Everything that we're doing here is critical to your success and our success. And as participants in our questing and in our engagement and in our marketing, everyone stands to benefit with a membership in the DAO, with a stake in the DAO, with governance in the DAO, and all of the benefits that come with being a part of the DAO. So we want to make sure that as contributors, as members of our community, you're able to really kind of digest everything that's going on, everything that we're doing. And that's why it's been so important for us to kind of highlight our partners. And Hermie kind of stands at the top of that pyramid, if you will. We've been working together for quite a long time, and it's really exciting to finally be here today, 3 weeks away, Big Bear, 3 weeks away from relaunching on base. How you doing, Hermie? Are you able to say hi for a minute? I know you're working on a few things, but
yeah, for sure. So I posted from my personal account on the YouTube Live. I posted. I don't know whether I'm supposed to celebrate with a happy birthday or happy anniversary, but either way, congrats. Listen, I'm going to kind of take a different angle here. I was intrigued, let's call it, with your decision to go on to Zealy and what you guys have accomplished over the last, month or so on Zealy alone has really, really been impressive. So, props on that as well. I think that you're getting the word out. I think that, the different quests that you're sending people on to do different things, you're educating, you're also, it's about inclusion. And I'm super excited for you guys. So I'm gonna kind of land the plane there, but I do just want to give you props. This anniversary or birthday or whatever you want to call it. Take time to celebrate. Take time to look back at the journey and where you've come. And I heard Big Bear talking about the early days. I would argue that the journey that we're all on in Web3 is unique and exciting and. In many ways, what you're doing right now, it's painting a very bright future. So just props for everything that you guys are accomplishing today via Zealy, via everything that you're doing, via all of the time and effort that you're putting in. And the community is rallying around what you're doing. And, it doesn't go unnoticed. So props.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And we really do. We want to highlight our partners in this process. And I will say this. And I've said it before, but I think a lot of projects don't give a lot of these participants that are helping get the word out and engage with, everything that we're doing. I don't think they get the credit, that they're due in a lot of respects, because when we first started this whole process, we were lucky to have 30 to, sometimes up in the hundreds, maybe 100 or 200, 300 at the most views on individual posts that we were putting out. And I just checked one from the other day and it's already at 22,000 views. And this is where the critical mass happens. It's when you have this engagement and you have it across platforms, you have it across profiles, you have it across different projects like Metarides and Income Island and Star Dogs and MIDI Punks and a couple more that I hope to be sharing here soon. When you combine that, we're looking at 25,000 views, and that's incredible for where we're at. And it makes me believe that we can get it up to 200,000. And we get up to 5. I mean, honestly, that's what we need for people to see us, to see our posts organically, because this is not paid. It's not paid in the same sense that you think of like advertising on X. This is actually engagement type analytics. And so it really does make a huge difference. And so a huge shout out to our community. I want you guys to know. So if you missed it, we've got some rewards that we're going to be sending out to the top 50 comments. And you'll notice that Big Bear is going to be sharing some of those comments along the bottom of this stream. And so as we go through this process, you stand a chance to win here and in the big campaign. So I want to start this by saying, I'm going to give you our first number, okay? The first code for this quest is 2020, 2020. That is the year that Axion launched its original token. It was 2020. So that's going to be our first code. We got 2 more coming, but I want to kind of focus on some of the things that we've done over the last 5 years. The protocol has changed on several times, and we did start out in the very beginning with a voting mechanism, a mechanism for the community to participate in the decisions that were being made by the team. They kind of moved away from that because we got to a point where things were just the way they were, and then we started introducing new ways to engage, new ways to earn rewards, new ways to get we had our big paydays, we had our interest, we had our Bitcoin rewards, and ultimately. And I think it was the end of 2021 to 2022, we moved from Ethereum because I remember there was a time when it cost $100 in gas to stake $100 in tokens.
It was crazy, yeah.
And people were doing it back then, but we moved to Polygon because the way our contracts are staked, it was basically one click stake, and it's going to be that way in the future. But the complexity of the contracts, it was a pretty expensive transaction. So we moved to Polygon end of 2021, beginning of 2022, and I had just come on board as an advisor a few months prior to that, and so I've been with the project about 4.25 years, I guess. But even that is that it kind of boggles my mind to think that, I came in like not too long after the project launched and we're still here, bro.
We're still here.
And just really excited, for some of the stuff that's happening. So we do kind of have a big announcement. Everybody's been waiting for the countdown to Snapshot. As of today, we are in our countdown to Snapshot. Our Snapshot's going to take place. We're not picking a very specific day. Okay, we are in a minimum of a 10-day countdown. So at minimum, it will be the 23rd that we're going to do our Snapshot. We're going to do something a little bit different. We'll probably have people concerned, but when we make that snapshot, we are going to be pausing everything on Polygon. So when we take that snapshot, up until the time that we take that snapshot, you still can interact with your stakes. You can still upgrade them. You can still withdraw them. You can still place new stakes. Although if you're coming in new to the protocol, we're suggesting you wait until we relaunch on base, but nevertheless, you can still purchase Axion. You can still stake it. You can still participate in this migration. But we are going to be encouraging. I got some articles that are going to come out to our primary community. You need to go in and check the status of all your stakes, because at this point we don't know how it's going to look if you have expired stakes that have matured, but you haven't done anything with it. So we're going to do some tests around that just to see what's going to happen. But ultimately, until we do our primary snapshot, we don't know how that's going to affect things. So your best bet is to go in and manage your stakes, whether you withdraw them or whether you restake them for 5555. And if you've been following, if you have stakes that have expired, that have matured, and they have penalties associated with withdrawing them, you can restake them for 5555. You can reclaim them on base. And all I want to say at this point, you can go read the support docs. You can kind of see what we're planning to do. But all I want to do is say at this point, you won't be disappointed if you do that. Okay. So we are making it we're rolling out all the stops to make sure that if you have older stakes that have matured, that you've not done anything with because the penalties were ridiculous, if you restake them 5-5-5-5, then you will be able to recover them on base and kind of have a fresh start. So I'll leave it at that, but we are now in our countdown to Snapshot. And we will have some articles coming out about that. We're going to be sending out emails to our primary database of those who have registered for our emails. So we are going to make every effort to let everybody know that we're in the downhill slope right now. So very, very important that you take the time. Even if you think, well, it was in the past and I let it go, we've had plenty of people that are going in and recovering those stakes by simply upgrading them to our 5-5-5-5 max. Okay. That was our 15-year max. And so, by the way, that's our second code. I'm not going to say what the first one is, but the second code is 5-5-5-5. And Big Bear, you mentioned this last live stream, but what does that represent?
Cuatro Cinco, baby. Cuatro Cinco. That's the max stake length.
So when the project was launched, everyone established their stakes as a 15-year stake. And back then, that was a bold move. I'll say this: that was a bold move for the project. And to a large extent, though, it's why we as a team decided quite a long time ago that if we can kind of salvage, we went, the bear market beat 90% of the projects that were on the blockchain were annihilated during the last huge bear market. We decided to just hunker down and get through it and try to figure out how we can breathe life back into the project and actually do it better. And that's when we came up with this concept for the DAO. And kudos to the legislators in the state of Utah who have made it possible for us to actually register this project in the United States, to offer rewards in the United States, and to establish this governance program here in the United States. So I'll just repeat it one more time. The second code is 5555 5555.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw up a question here, which kind of ties into what you were just talking about with the legislation and all that.
Okay. That's actually a very, very thought out question. Not sure what RWAs.
Real world. I think it stands for real world assets.
Okay. So, it is important to note that this legislation is protected in the state of Utah. If you understand how our states work in the United States, it's protected in the state of Utah. So the state of Utah has our back. From here, we are going to be working with legislators and our attorney who wrote the legislation that we are piggybacking to establish the DAO. We are going to be looking to take this legislation, to take these concepts to a federal level so that it can be registered federally as well and protected federally as well. A lot of what we're doing is in large part is because of our current administration and their stance on blockchain projects and oversight. So the state of Utah has provided this mechanism to recognize us as an autonomous organization. So all they're doing is making it possible for us to also have a bank account to pay our bills, to have our servers, for our websites, for, you know, all of the governance and all of the rewards and all of the interest, all that's going to be managed by contracts. But it's kind of foolish to think that 100% of it can go completely decentralized until, you know, someone like Filecoin or SiaCoin or there are some projects out there that are making it possible for you to set up decentralized file management, decentralized website launching and stuff like that, but it's still not quite where we need it to be. So we're always going to have governance. We're always going to have a team that's building on behalf of the DAO. But here's where we kind of skirt, if you will, and I don't want to say this in an inappropriate way, but how we can skirt the Howey test is pretty much everything that we do in the DAO requires you to participate. You can no longer just sit back and expect to have a reward or expect to see a gain on your investments strictly on the work of other people. There are going to be requirements, sometimes on a monthly basis, depending on the level that you want to participate in the DAO. You will have to have an annual membership. You will have to periodically go out and post social media posts that we will track within the DAO. So for instance, now this is not set up right away. It's something that we vaguely talked about in the past, but it's something I've looked at exploring in more detail, in part because of our relationship with Star Dogs and how they're doing their fundraising for their movies. But if you go into do an action, you have to physically do it. We're not going to do it for you. So if you want the benefit of that action, you have to physically do it. And what we might do is also tie in that you'll have to go out and let the world know that you just interacted with the contract. So we're exploring these things, but what we're doing is we're looking to make sure that you as a member of the DAO have to participate in order to benefit from the DAO. It is not just solely on the activities of everyone else. So that's one of those things. Can you throw that back up real quick? I was just, I didn't know if I covered it all the way.
There you go.
Okay, so across jurisdictions, I'm sure what you mean is state to state to state. And that's where, so there's 4 other states now that have similar legislation. We may look at registering there as well, but ultimately what we're looking to do is take what we're doing and how we're doing it to a federal level. Once we register the DAO, anyone who signs on as an officer or as a board member and even more specifically, our registered members of the DAO, all of that information is actually protected by the state of Utah. So our board members, if they so choose, okay, can have their names redacted. So the state is providing a way for us to do everything legally. Now, we have to be doxxed to the state. So the state knows who we are. But what the state is willing to do is actually redact that on public records. And the only way you would ever be able to find out who the officers and the board members are IRL is through a subpoena, through a judge, through so we don't intend to behave in a way that would allow for that to happen. Ultimately, that's really kind of the bottom line. We're going to conform to whatever laws we need to conform to. And we're going to hold that up as a piece of paper. If someone wants to question us, we're going to have the documents, we're going to have the bylaws, we're going to have the attorneys, and we're going to have the legislators that will basically stand as a buffer. So as long as we are not committing fraud, and as long as we are not ripping off the members of the DAO, then it's going to be protected. I hope that kind of answers the question. That's a great question. And I mean, that's really speaks to the heart of what we're doing as a DAO, as an autonomous, decentralized organization. And it's just really amazing that, you know, that there were attorneys and legislators that had the foresight and the insight and the understanding of what it really means to be a DAO, to actually articulate legislation that would allow for us to be legally recognized in the real world. So now we can actually work with IRL partners, IRL businesses.
That's a great segue for the next question.
And we can invest in IRL. So is there going to be any future partner for Axion? Absolutely. That's everything that we are doing, is to establish that opportunity for us to partner with big companies, you know, real IRL companies, to invest in VC level, accredited investor level type registered projects and fundraisers. We got Songs here.
Songs is okay.
Hey, Songs, you're on. I don't know if you can hear us, but I just put you up. Welcome.
Welcome.
I thought I found, I couldn't find a file, but we'll play out the other one here soon. I got to keep an eye on time. Is this a question?
No, it's a comment.
Okay. Yeah. So we have some time, Hermie. What's the latest right now that you're working on? What's kind of the big focus? Because I know I'm ready to kind of do the next little push for, you know, what we're doing with Metarides. We are kind of re-evaluating and reorganizing how we're going to do our NFT drops. For those that have been following this from the beginning, we've got about 200 NFTs through Metarides that we are going to airdrop to our OGs. Okay, so this is specifically for our OGs, and there's a process that you can go through. If you've got any of our previous NFTs, you can claim one of these NFTs. But why don't you kind of share with us what owning these NFTs looks like, and what they're going to be able to do as the ecosystem grows.
Yeah. So first of all, anybody that's looking for sneak peeks, you can go to our website, metarides.io, and click on the collectibles or buy now button and go to Axion DAO and click on that. And you'll be able to go to secondary and see those assets. So those all exist out there at the moment. So you can, you know, get a sneak peek for what's going to be given away. In regards to, you know, what they're for, I think the story that we're telling investors right now is that today they're digital collectibles, tomorrow they're gaming collectibles. We are mobile first. We're doing everything we can to allow somebody to log in on their phone, make a purchase, and use that digital gaming collectible immediately inside a mobile title, and then ultimately future mobile titles as well. So our ecosystem will generate multiple gaming titles, multiple gaming modes where you can use different vehicles, different gaming collectibles, avatars, showrooms, etc. But on top of that, you know, the other relationship that many of you already know about is Income Island, where a lot of those vehicles, including the Axion DAO car, can be driven as demo vehicles to kind of show proof of concept on what they're building. So there are so many different ways that we're building horizontally and vertically right now. What's really unique is that we are talking to some major Web2 brands right now. And as soon as any of those deals are inked, it brings in another, you know, group of users, we'll call it. They get an opportunity to join our ecosystem, see what we're building, see what's being built, you know, from a gaming perspective, but also on top of that, bring value to each of our partners that we're already set up with, including Axion DAO. So there's going to be more eyeballs that are going to be seeing the brand moving forward. And I think as people step into Web3, dip their toes, however you want to say it, it's going to be pretty cool to see how that plays out with each of our partners, big and small. So super excited about all of that. But yeah, sneak peeks, you can find them. Go to the website, click on Axion DAO, click on, view on secondary or whatever that looks like on the website, and you'll be able to see a lot of those cars that are out there already.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think, I really believe, with this, what I like to call trifecta with Axion DAO, Metarides, Income Island, and even Star Dogs, we're really building with innovators that are dedicated to executing this vision. And ultimately, as these things come to fruition, it's going to be this collaboration, this network of projects that's going to be able to help kind of take things to the next level. And so extremely excited to be working with you, to be working with Dylan, with Income Island and Star Dogs. And for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, you can download the Income Island metaverse through either you go to the Income Island website, or you can go to the Microsoft store and just download it onto your PC. We built in fact, why don't I take this opportunity to share the walkthrough? I've got a couple things we're going to do here. So once we're done here, we're going to play out the whole vibe here with the soundtrack that Hermie from Metarides created for us. In the meantime, I'm going to play a track. I'm going to show you a walkthrough video of our compound in Income Island, and I'm going to play another soundtrack that was created by Songs through MIDI Punks. Or it's kind of our anthem, if you will. And I always imagine, all of the warriors marching into the Coliseum as we play this. So I'm going to go ahead and share that video. Let me see if I can pull it up here easily. All right. And so I'm going to hit play on this, and I'm going to play this soundtrack. And yeah, we'll go from there. But this is, so you're going to see inside Income Island, you're going to see the Metarides showroom. You'll see the Quick Swap DEX, the crypto exchange, and a few other things, as well as our compound. So here we go. Okay, so I am going to ask, guys, please don't post the codes. You're not doing yourself or anybody else a favor if you're posting the codes in our comments. So Big Bear, if you see those, you can actually delete them. You just click on the 3 buttons and delete them.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
But I just saw a message from Crypto Presido, one of our ambassadors. So we just kind of saw the Quick Swap crypto exchange. This is the Metarides showroom. You can see their cars that are from Tootsie, the brand Tootsie. We've got cars in there, and we're just now getting in the actual Axion DAO car to drive over to the compound. But got a lot of partners that are working with Metarides in their branding with some vehicles. And so we're going to head over to the compound now. But I am going to say, guys, if you're posting the codes that I'm handing out, you're not doing yourself any favor. You're actually kind of defeating the purpose. The purpose is to have people watch this, to actually enjoy this and learn from this, so that they can apply that to everything else they're doing to help support the project. So I respectfully and kindly ask that you don't go posting our codes. You're not helping. So if you missed the first two codes, it was in the last 30 minutes. So 30 minutes of your time, and you'll be able to learn everything that we're doing here. This is our headquarters inside Income Island. It's one of the largest. They call it the compound now. It's been labeled the compound. And up here at the top, we have a rotating restaurant where you can get your Pyro's pineapple pizza.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have it yet on the, I think in one of our updates soon, we're going to have a menu in here, and the menu is going to consist of items that reflect the brands that we're working with. So, but you can see out this window, you can see the launch pad over there. We're going to go launch that rocket in a second. So we're going to be able to do a lot of stuff inside Income Island. In fact, I had a nice call with Dylan just a little while ago, and we're talking about scaling the system, optimizing the system, and what we need to do to actually have a DeFi, an online DeFi conference inside of Income Island. So we're going to be exploring that this coming year in 2026. For those of you who've been with Axion DAO for a long time, you'll remember that we participated in Polycon. That was an online crypto conference. It's where I met a lot of people I'm still working with today. And so we're going to do that inside our compound here. But you can see, so you can launch the rocket from the mission control, but there's also this really cool button right here where you can launch the rocket right here. In fact, I think we're going to go and switch to a different PFP. This is the avatar. So this is the normal avatar that you have, but kind of put something really awesome together here for us. And if you want, you can switch over to the Axion Axionaut. So
Axionaut. There you go.
we have been calling ourselves Axionauts since the heyday. And now you can actually launch and watch the rocket take off. This is the same thing that's in our video that we play. Just really excited. We've been doing some very, very fun, dynamic, different. The rocket's going to land. Boom. So a lot of opportunities for us to engage with both on-chain projects and IRL projects. So looking forward to everything we're going to be adding to this compound. We're going to be hosting events in here. There's a lot of stuff we're going to do. And there's the other Axion DAO card. So the idea is once you own a Metarides NFT, you'll be able to stake, or are we using the word stake, Hermie, or are we using a different word for like moving our cars between different environments?
Yeah, we don't use the word stake for that. It's more of just having interoperable digital collectibles. I would argue that back in the day, NFTs were just JPEGs. Now NFTs are serving as things that you can use in different environments. I do want to add just one more component. Anybody that ends up with one of these Axion DAO cars, they're going to be the only Series 1 cars available for the Alpha futuristic car and the Zara supercar. And you'll be able to, in the mobile title next year, you'll be able to go in and race for yourself, but also for the Axion DAO brand. And it's a daily challenge where you will be able to, if you race well enough to get on the podium and then represent yourself and the Axion DAO brand on the podium, and it resets every day. So that's kind of a cool component that you get to race not only for yourself, but for the brands that you represent. So
Yeah,
figured I'd throw that out there as well. But the first ones are going to be collector's items for sure.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, we're excited, and just really looking forward to what comes from this vision. And so I'm going to go ahead and give out the third number. I'm not going to repeat the other two, but the third number is 2025. That's the year that Axion DAO is moving to base. That is the beginning of our next chapter as we write this story. And let me just say this: the Axion story, the history of Axion is a story, and we're going to be telling this story. I've been compiling, documenting, and forming all of these things that we've been doing and articulating them so that we can publish an actual book, The Rise of Axion DAO. Now, that's not the title. That's probably a subtitle, but I do have a title in mind. I'm not sharing that title, but and the reason I'm not sharing the title, I think it's a pretty cool title, and I don't want anybody to front run it. So, we are looking forward to publishing this this memoir, or whatever you want to call it, and we've got a few other things that we're working on. But so the last code is the third code is 2025. So you've got three codes. If you missed the first two, you can just go back and watch the last 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the most. Yeah, we're here. I don't know. Let's do this because we are community driven. We are community led. I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to see. We're going to kind of see what people's responses are. Should we call this our birthday, or should we call this our anniversary? Because you brought up a good point. I've said both, and I've even confused myself on both. It's like I don't know which one really applies. Is this an anniversary, or is this a birthday?
I think they're interchangeable. I like it both.
Yeah. I'm good with both. Yeah, I think I look at it as I kind of look at it as our anniversary, but yeah, I mean birthday. I put birthday in half the stuff, and then I switched it to anniversary, and then I switched it back to birthday. But yeah, so I appreciate that's the political answer. I appreciate that. Politically correct. I think Big Bear's studying the comments so he can find some good ones.
This was an interesting comment here. My response would be, we're just getting started, but I'll let you take that one if you want.
I mean, what is a stronger marketing push? I mean, what is a stronger marketing effort? I mean,
maybe you need to list off some stats. That'll kind of answer that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I haven't updated our stats, but I think a lot gets lost. Putting banners. I mean, 3 years ago, we did a browser takeover. It was the Brave browser, and I think they spent $50,000 on this Brave browser takeover. and it returned zero.
Mm-hmm.
In this engagement campaign that we launched 2 months ago, we have, out of this 50K giveaway, we have yet to even put $20,000 of this 50K giveaway out. And this campaign is going to go on towards the end of the year. I mean, we've got phase 3, which is, or phase 2 right now is what we're in, getting us to our migration. This sprint ends the same week that we migrate to base. Right behind that, we're going to be starting a whole new sprint to carry us through into the end of December. And then we've got some more stuff happening in January. So this has all been articulated in our articles. We got articles that are going out. We've got massive engagement going out on X. We're doing these live streams weekly. We've learned how to better spend those marketing dollars. And we've gone from roughly 9,000 members on Discord to over 17,000 on Discord now. We've gone from posts on X that used to get 20 to 300 views are in the 20,000 to 25,000 view range. You don't get that from a banner. You don't get that from paying to have a post show up more. We don't have to do that with the way that we're doing this engagement campaign. And it's the participants in this engagement campaign that stand to benefit just as much as everybody else, because when the dust settles and we end this campaign in preparation for the next big campaign, the top 5,000 people that are participating in this engagement campaign stand the opportunity to walk away with a 1-year DAO membership, a stake in the DAO, the right to actually participate in governance, the ability to enjoy the rewards, to withdraw monthly interest from that stake, to restake it as compounded interest. And so what we're seeing right now is we're bringing in lifelong members in this process. So everyone participating in this process stands to benefit if they're in the top 5,000. And right now I think we're close to 6,000 people total that have participated in this. But the nice thing is some people, they forget, they might miss a couple of quests. So all it might take is one quest here and there to get back on that 5,000. We see this all the time with our leaderboards and our sprints. And if you read one of our recent articles, we're going to be rewarding engagement, not people that are sitting idly by on the sidelines, tapping their fingers on the desk, expecting a return. So we want the marketing dollars that we're allocating to get the word out for the DAO to go directly to the people who are helping us get the word out for the DAO. I could beat that horse all day long, Big Bear. I'm really excited with the response that we've gotten. The whole team. In fact, we just had a team meeting, and everybody has been very happy with what they're seeing for what we have actually invested into this program so far. The return has been phenomenal. So,
100%.
The day of banners and I don't know, paid posts on X. I mean, not to say that we're not going to look at that as we continue to grow, but really the value is in getting people to participate in this process and then walking away as members of this DAO. So the people who are that know the value of what they're doing in helping us get the word out. And I'll say this to all the OGs that are just sitting there going, that's cute, I hope it works, and they're really not engaging. We do have some OGs that are participating in this. I see them all the time. And to you guys, man, kudos. I appreciate it. You have no idea. But for the OGs that are sitting back just kind of saying, well, this is not what I think you should be doing, you got to look at the numbers and actually take a hard look at that perspective. And if you're not participating in this, shame on you. It's the bottom line. Shame on you, because the people that are participating in this, they stand to benefit the most. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, that's a horse I can beat all day long, but I will refrain at this point. And so we're coming up to the top of the hour. We do like to keep this to an hour. You know, I forgot my kazoo and my little, you know, pom-poms for our birthday and our anniversary. But for all of you that have come and hung out with us, we've already shared the first 3 codes for participating in this quest. So if you missed them, please go back and watch through this. If you've missed any part of this presentation, just go back, because we really want you to get the vibe of what we're doing. That, you know, we are looking to do something that is not being done at the same level and the same scale in DeFi. That's not to say that there aren't other projects out there that are doing, you know, a good job in trying to achieve this level of being a DAO. But what we're doing is we're looking to stand out in the crowd. We're looking to actually get on the radar of IRL level TradFi investment gurus and investors in general, looking to actually participate in a project that has both autonomy and legitimacy recognized in the United States. So really excited about that.
And we're in no rush to get there foolishly.
Right.
This is every move that we're making going forward is being carefully planned and structured in a way where it's the protocol itself is going to be protected with longevity in mind, and obviously first and foremost making sure that our community is protected and looked after and given tools so that they can do their own work and create their own benefits.
Right. Yeah. I mean, can you believe? So we started our first DAO vote was launched September 4th, I think, of last year. So we've been in this whole process to go from a standard DeFi project, a cryptocurrency project, to a full-fledged DAO. We've spent the better part of this entire last year working towards that goal, and we're 3 weeks away. So our countdown has started. We will be having the snapshot the week of November 23rd to the 27th, thereabouts. Once we do that snapshot, we will pause the contracts on Polygon. We will lock the liquidity. We'll pull the liquidity, and we will start moving everything onto the base network. That process is going to take about a week. So we are going to have a week where we will still be doing our live streams. We'll still be having our articles going out. We'll be messaging. Like I said, I'm going to be sending a rather poignant article and email out to all of our subscribers here shortly to get this word out, to let them know it's time. We're here. We're literally on the downhill. We're going to slide in. We're going to glide in nice and comfortably. We're not going to rush in. That's why we're going to take, once we pause everything, we're still going to take some time to do the last of our testing. So we need to test right now. We've been doing a lot of testing. We've got beta testing happening on all levels right now. But one of the last things we're going to beta test is the actual claiming process for the actual stakes. So we're going to take about a week to where we finalize all of those details and we test them with some of our beta testers and make sure that the numbers here match the numbers over here. So that'll be our goal. And I think with that, I think we can play ourselves out. I mean, I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Hermie. Appreciate you. We appreciate you hanging out with us and keeping a smile going. We invited a few others. This is the crazy thing. And transparency is always important to me, Big Bear. You know that. And, coming into this last weekend, I've known that it's our anniversary now for a couple of months. We've been talking about it in meetings, right? And we get into last week and things have been happening so fast and there's been so much going on. Monday night, I go in to schedule the live stream and it was like, no! The day is here.
Yeah, it's here. Surprise.
So I was, we have so much going on that, it almost slipped by. Last year it slipped by completely, but we definitely weren't going to let it slip by this year. So to all of those OGs who are going to watch this at some point, if you're not already hanging out with us, happy anniversary, happy birthday. And we're just getting started. That's what we say almost at the end of every live stream. We used to say we're just getting started. But now, my favorite one is something's happening here. And if you're paying attention, you're going to see something is happening here. So you better keep an eye on it, because if you don't, you're going to miss it. But I got to find this. I'm going to find this slide. I enjoy doing this, and I think between me and Big Bear, we can. So we're gonna play this soundtrack out. I want to thank everybody who's joined us. We're going to be showing some more of these comments that everybody's been making. We will be selecting the top 50 comments. You're going to need to give us a few days, because this is going to be a very manual process, but we're going to look through all these comments. We're going to pick the top 50, and we're going to be sending out some rewards for that and some thank yous. So appreciate everybody. And we're going to go ahead and play out.
We ready to ignite. We blasting off tonight. Axion DAO in the cloud with the crowd in the frenzy. Pound in the ground, engine sound like a Benz G. In Kamalin to rise in the skylines lit. Rocket climb like a rhyme when the lines all hit. Doing D5 better, together forever. Metarides more like leather than pleather. Migration to base, the flight plans drawn. The future is now. Yeah, the mic stays on. Got a 50K giveaway. Big today. Don't faint from the news, man. You okay? Doing D5 better. Together we stay. We're just getting started. Hear the crowd say, hey, Axion DAO. Those engines lit. Migration to base. The perfect fit. Future of crypto in a brand new way. Axion DAO 50K giveaway. Fast lane frame. Hey. With the game in the gearbox. Metarides heat. Make the street lights teardrop. Code mode load like a rhyme in the riddle. Every chain link thick has the bass in the middle. Moon zoom boom when the room gets louder. Axion strong like 4 bars from your router. We don't just chase, we replace that pace. Got the bass so laced they can't trace our race. Got a 50K giveaway, big today. Don't faint from the news, man, you okay? Doing D5 better, together we stay. We're just getting started, hear the crowd say, hey, Axion DAO, those engines lit. Migration to base, the perfect fit. Future of crypto in a brand new way. Axion DAO 50K giveaway. Fuel in the fuse when the boosters ignite. Income island, they rockets take flight. Octane flame, every launch stays vital. 50K flip, got the grip on the title. Metarides drift with the lift on lock. Every tick-tock click, push the rocket clock. This is next gen flex on the ledger page. Axion DAO, future set center stage. Got a 50K giveaway, big today. Don't faint from the news, man, you okay? Doing D5 better, together we stay. We're just getting started, hear the crowd say, hey, Axion DAO, those engines lit. Migration to base, the perfect fit. Future of crypto in a brand new way. Axion DAO 50K giveaway. 50K giveaway.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's been an enjoyable 1 hour. We did already issue the 3 codes to complete the quest associated with this. We encourage you to go back through and listen to the presentation to get those. I went in here, Big Bear, and there was 1,500 plus comments in this thread. That's like a world record for us here. So
it was insane. There was the one thing I will mention is I noticed that there was a lot of comment spamming going on, like the same comment by the same user. They were just posting it over and over and over and over and over again. So
yeah,
if you guys are listening, you're still with us. That could be, once or twice is fine, but not necessary to keep spamming it. The team's going to do a good job of going through and catching all the really good ones. And
and also, and we'll talk about this later, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now for those that are watching. If you do that next time, I'm going to teach you how we can actually mute them. And I don't want to do that. But yeah, if you're just spamming the same thing over and over, it's not helping us. It's not helping you. In fact, it's kind of like when you see an advertisement too many times and you stop, you just basically ignore the advertisement because it's irritating. But not saying that here, but just keep that in mind. If you want to do it 2 or 3 times and space it out, that's one thing. But yeah, I did notice that because I was like, wait a minute, I just clicked on one that said the same thing.
Yeah, I was having that, and so I'm like, oh, what username was the last one? Oh, it's the same. Okay, skip that one.
All right, guys. Well, hey, appreciate everybody joining us. Appreciate you, Hermie. It's very good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out. I'm actually trying to get over here to my media assets so I can hit the right thing. Join us tomorrow. We are. I forgot to mention this, but join us tomorrow. It's I think 5 p.m. UTC. We're going to have our second game day. We had a record turnout for game day last Tuesday. We had about almost 250 playing Rumble with us. Tomorrow we're going to be playing Garctic. It's kind of like Pictionary for those of you who've played Pictionary in the past. So we will be playing Garctic tomorrow, and then I have my space on X. So lots still happening, lots of reasons to stay connected, and keep an eye on Discord. Keep an eye on our Zealy Quest thread, and there's a term from Ready Player One, and that's happy gunting. Happy questing, guys. Have a good time. Have a good weekend. Appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Peace.